All rise, veuillez vous lever. Please be seated. Veuillez vous asseoir.
Thank you very much. Let us go into private session for
Mr. President,
a few things.
I just wanted to place on the record that we are joined by Rong Sin Choi, that could be in public, and I also had another observation, but maybe you wanted to go in private first.
We are in open session, Mr. President.
Thank you, Your Honours. Now, Mr. Witness, I hope not to keep you too much longer, but if you could please listen carefully to the questions and answer just the question that I put to you, and try not to expand and go into other areas that you're not asked about. It will go much faster, okay?
Ndivyo.
Now, I'm just going to remind you, well, I'm going to give you my understanding of the evidence that you've given us regarding your meetings with persons 1 and 3. Let me start by asking you one question. When person number 1 came to you and requested you to accompany her to meet person number 3, did you know what the meeting was about? Or did you only find out when you arrived at that meeting in Eldoret?
Nilienda kujua hiyo maneno kwa hoteli.
So it must have come as quite a surprise to you when you arrived at that meeting and were suddenly asked to meet with the prosecution and to give false evidence to the prosecution. Is that right? Was it a surprise?
Ndio, ni kama vile nilikuwa nimesema mbeleni. Niliuliza kwa makini sana vitu yenye walikuwa wananiambia. Lakini yalionekana ni rahisi sababu majibu yenye walinipatia hakuna kitu ilionekana na wasiwasi kwa hayo maneno.
All right. Now, from what you've told us, during the course of this 3-hour meeting, persons 1 and 3 explained to you what benefits you could receive. Is that right?
Ndivyo.
But Mr. Witness, the places you speak about in your statement are not all places you knew about. You told this court, did you not, you have never been to the house of Farouk Kibet. Isn't that so?
Ndivyo.
And it's not just places, but it's events. You've given a detailed description of the meetings and events which you say in your statement took place at the compound of person number 13 after the election results. But you say you weren't there. So all of that detail
namfahamu jina hiyo.
You can say yes or no for now.
We'll get details perhaps in private session. Do you know a person by the name of Philip Bett? Also known by the nickname Kipsengeria. Kipsengeria.
Simfahamu huyu mwingine, namfahamu ya kwanza.
Your Honor, sorry, private session, please.
Private session.
We are in open session, Mr. President.
Grateful, Your Honor. So the final matter then is the admission of the outstanding exhibits, the first being the prior statement of this witness from 20 to 23 November 2012, Ken OTP 00870031. Your Honors, as with the previous two witnesses, the prosecution requests admission at this stage only for the purposes of impeachment. The prosecution once again gives notice to the defense that it will seek subsequently to have the statement admitted for the truth of its contents.
Mr. President, can I just say, because I think we've been beating around the bush for quite a while, I would ask that perhaps the bench schedule sooner rather than later this issue of Rule 68. The prosecution have raised it a number of times. It seems a lot of questions are predicated and are said to be relevant only because of their contention that Rule 68 is applicable, notwithstanding the express words that it's not retroactive. Your Honor,
Mr. Ken, let's not do that now. Let's just finish with this.
Your Honor, I wasn't seeking to argue it now, but perhaps the bench can consider...
I know.
I'm grateful.
Yes. For now, the prosecution is seeking to tender the statement into evidence for now, not for the truth of the content, but for the indicated purpose of impeachment. And when prosecution wishes to change the status of these materials to something else, the prosecution will let us know, and the defense will have their opportunity to deal with the matter at that time. Mr. Hooper?
No objection.
Well, on our part, we object, because if it's for the purpose of impeachment, we consider the transcript sufficient. All that was relevant material to impeach the witness should have been used to impeach this witness, and anything that hasn't been used should not be tendered for the purpose of impeachment. That is our submission.
Thank you. Any reply to that?
No response other than to refer to the previous submissions on that point.
The document will be admitted as the next prosecution exhibit.
Mr. President, item KenOTP 00870031, fifth redacted version, confidential document will be attributed reference EVDT OTP 00174, exhibit number 174.
Grateful, Your Honours, and I do confirm I omitted to say that it should be the R05, fifth redacted version. Your Honours, then the annexes, Annex 1, Ken OTP 00870054, also R05. I ask that to be admitted for the same purpose and for the same reasons.
Defense?
No objection.
No objection.
Admitted as the next prosecution exhibit.
Item KEN OTP 00870054, confidential document, will be attributed reference EVDT OTP 00175, OTP exhibit number 175.
Annex 2, Your Honours, Ken OTP 00870055, R05. Once again, I ask that to be admitted.
Any objection?
No objection.
No objection.
Admitted as the next prosecution exhibit.
Document KEN OTP 00870055 will be admitted as exhibit number 176, attributed reference EVDT OTP 00176, confidential document.
Thank you. And finally, Your Honours, Annex 3, I asked that it be admitted, Ken OTP 00870056, also R05. And that concludes the prosecution's examination of this witness.
Any objection?
No, Your Honour.
None.